If you're here to find some underappreciated shows or maybe hear me praise a few old favorites, you've come to the right place. This is Restless in Peace, and today we're spotlighting Brave Story. I'm Fennec, and I've been an anime fan for almost a decade and have watched hundreds of shows. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with friends. If you haven't seen Brave Story, spoilers ahead. Brave Story revolves around Wataru. His parents just got divorced, and his mother seems to be kinda in denial about it. And also, now that Wataru's dad is gone, she feels this is the perfect opportunity to fall ill, collapse, and be bedridden at a hospital. In order to save her, Wataru goes through like a Narnia door thing and is transported into a world of magic and stuff, you know the drill. There he has to collect these 5 gems that have different colors, I guess, and have absolutely no rhyme or reason to how or where you find them. In this world of magic, the first person lizard dinosaur thing Wataru meets is called Kikima, and he sticks to Wataru like glue because he thinks heroes bring good luck. Whatever that. Then there is also this cat girl that is actually stupid enough to believe that helping poachers is gonna somehow help her find her dad, who is missing for whatever reason. Point is, this movie is a masterclass in destroying any possible trace of tension or enjoyment in your life. It's actually impressive how there is actually zero tension in this entire movie, no matter what the stakes, the odds, the people that die, or anything that happens. The levels of tension never, ever take even a baby step beyond zero. I have read one-shot slice-of-life manga with more tension than this. This episode will consist of me telling you what I think Brave Story is doing in order to destroy all sense of tension and make this movie a complete flop. Let's start with the fact that every character's motivation is hella weak, especially when you consider what they do with that super-ass weak motivation. Let's start with Kikima. That's it, Kikima. Because he's the biggest problem. Kikima joins Wataru because he believes him to be a good luck charm of sorts. With this motivation in mind, Kikima jumps into a lake and saves Wataru from a giant lake monster. This was clearly a life-threatening situation. It's even mentioned that there were professionals that went by the lake in order to take care of the monster, and once they saw it, they just kind of decided this is above their pay grade and left. But Wataru and Kikima had zero reservations and just kind of straight up jumped into the lake. When it comes to Wataru, you can kind of make it slide because he's supposed to be kinda desperate to save his mom, but Kikima had absolutely no reason to put his life on the line for Wataru like he did. Like, a bit of good luck is not worth dying over, especially when taking into account that Kikima appears to be doing just fine and is by no means desperate for that luck. Also, he met Wataru like a day before all this happened, and they were apart for most of it. Like, why would Kikima do this? Honestly, why? And to make matters worse, although that definitely was a very life-threatening situation, there was zero tension in the scene because Kikima treated the lake monster that's like 20 times his size, by the way, like it was nothing. He didn't beat it or anything. He just poked it in the eye and then took Wataru back to shore. But then when Wataru jumps back into the water, it's suddenly too dangerous for Kikima to join in again. Like what? And this kind of thing is reoccurring. A character has zero motivation to do what they're doing. They treat the situation like it's a joke, even though as the viewer, you can see it's meant to be taken seriously, and these guys are also very inconsistent about their capabilities. Oh, and you can add on to that the very, very bad voice acting and music, which also goes a very long way in making sure that there will probably never be any tension anywhere in this movie. Even Wataru, who's supposed to have the ironclad motivation of saving his dying mother, like, honestly, if you miss the first few minutes of the movie, you might not even know that that's his goal, except for, like, I think there's, like, one other time they mention it. Like, for the most part, it just looks like he's fumbling around. There are opponents that he actually defeats by tripping over himself and accidentally activating some kind of random power from one of the gems. This happens multiple times throughout the movie. This should be called unclimactic story instead of brave story. We're like, what? Who made this? The only brave thing about this is that they actually released this piece of garbage. Personally, I would have been ashamed to actually release something like this. And although Kikima is worse for the story's tension than that cat girl, she pisses me off even more. Because again, like, I don't know where she expects to find her dad, but for whatever reason, she sticks to Wataru and thinks that doing that will somehow help her find him. By the way, she never does find him. It's useless information. Like, there is absolutely no reason for her to, like, she never finds him. And she never finds him because it's a stupid idea. Like, why would tagging along with an 11-year-old who's searching for colorful stones have any impact on you searching for a dad? Also, when she joins the party, it's the stupidest thing ever. The conversation where they decide that she would join the party didn't even happen on screen. Like, one moment, she was conning them, and literally the next shot, she's a member of the party. Like, I just can't with this movie. What is this? I think this might actually be the worst movie that I have ever seen. And I've seen, like, a lot of bad movies. Like, if I had gone to see this in the theater, I would have walked out. This would have been the first ever movie that I'd walk out on mid-movie. Like, who actually approved the budget for this thing? Like, you know what? I'm gonna check. Wait, I'm actually going to check. It's Studio Gonzo. That actually makes sense. That's like the first thing that actually makes sense about this movie. That's kind of sad. I feel bad for the original creator of the manga. This movie really feels like someone took a manga with like 1,000,000 chapters and tried to condense it into like 2 hours. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I actually wasted 2 hours of my life on this thing. We're ending the episode right here because I'm not gonna spend another minute thinking about this movie. Finally, never watch Brave Story. It's a waste of both your time and mine. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with friends.